What it do, mine? What's going on, bro? So I woke up about an hour ago. I actually tried to get like a late checkout, but the place does not offer it because they need to clean up so the next people will come, right? So I was kind of planning on staying late in the city last night and then checking out late, but that didn't pan out. So I did not stay as late in the city, came back, got some sleep, and woke the fuck up in time to actually check out. And now I'm on the roof and basically waiting on my ride to the next spot. Now I have an incredible view from here, right? But of course, I'm not gonna like turn the table and all of that shit so that you can actually see the view. What is important is that I'm seeing it, right? That's what's important, right? And as usual, of course, I don't have shit to talk about. So it may eventually, some insights or topic or whatever the fuck may come up. But if it doesn't, man, I'm all good in the hood, man. I'm actually all good in the hood. Now, of course, I am hungover. And I'm glad actually I've drank some quality drinks last night, right? I had some Red Label and chased it with some Budweisers. And that has contributed to me not feeling as hungover, right? I'm feeling it, but it's a nice mellow one due to the quality of the liquor last night. If you're asking about first impressions of this city, man, I fell in love the moment I got here. I couldn't believe. First of all, I couldn't believe it's this big. I literally always assumed Tangiers, man. My vision of it was that it's just like a mountain on a beach. I literally thought of it as like a village. Ain't that some crazy shit, right? This is a full-blown international metropolitan. Like in every sense of the fucking word, man. This place is epic. And of course, I want to spend a lot more time here and do a lot more shit, but I don't have the time now. I need to keep it pushing to the next spot, getting closer to the final beach shack number 3, which of course I have to look for, but I'm on my way to the region of the Mediterranean that beach shack number 3 is gonna be at, right? And that's that, bro. What an epic fucking morning, man. Epic for me, of course. If you're listening to this, you may be having an epic time or some shitty ass time wherever you are. But for me, it is an epic day. Epic morning, that is. And also still getting used to the landscape filming, which is geared more towards YouTube versus TikTok, right? And I'm gonna feel bad, man, to kind of reduce my TikTok thing because TikTok is where I get the most engagement. But at the same time, man, TikTok is not friendly to landscape mode, right? It's also not friendly, man. TikTok audience is very really affected by dopamine, and it makes their attention span very snappy. Which I'm not being judgy. That's I do make content geared towards that, like just small clips. But for longer format, and also for scenery and background, whether it's nature, city, or whatever, you need landscape because people need to see the surroundings. And in a TikTok format, even the lives, all right? I wish I could do the lives in landscape. My ultimate actually would be to do a live with a GoPro, but GoPro doesn't, like, it's not integrated like that. But a GoPro in the water, right? As I'm surfing or as I'm just doing some activity in the water. Well, now that I say surfing, man, I feel the pain. Because ain't no surfing out here, man. The ocean is flat as fuck. Right? But anyway, that's neither here nor there, man. There's so many things that make up for my sacrifice of not surfing. Right? But my ultimate will be to do like a live with a GoPro in the water. Right? Whether surfing or doing some other activity. But anyway, landscape makes more sense for these videos than the TikTok format, and also the lives, which I really enjoy. And I enjoy interacting with the public and all of that, and the comments, the gifts. It's beautiful. But at the same time, man, that shit is draining. It drains my energy after I'm done with the live. Right? Because I have to cater to an audience. Right? And engage with someone else's either perception of me, emotions, what they need to ask at the moment, which all of it is valid. But that stuff takes me out of my presence and out of my element and puts me in an entertaining mode. And I'm not doing this shit for entertainment. I'm doing this shit so that I can self-express and get this shit out of my system. I do this for, instead of going to a therapist, paying $200 an hour, or instead of taking pharmaceutical drugs, I open up the camera. So the point of this whole thing is for me to self-express. When I'm self-expressing and then I have all kinds of demands and questions as I'm doing that, it interrupts my creative process. And matter of fact, that's why I've done the sub-only lives. A lot of people, man, this is fucked up. Why people gotta pay to watch the lives? I'm not doing it for the money. I'm not. The reason people pay, because I think about it this way, man. So lives, let me hit up some greens, man. I think I'm talking at too much of a pace. Need to slow down, man. All right? But I'm gonna arrive at my point. Or my thought. Yeah, let's bring this, there we go. Yeah, I'm gonna arrive at it. This is a tangent within this, but I'm gonna get at that. I was watching Zuckerberg a few days ago with Rogan, right? There's this really interesting thing that Rogan said, and then Zuckerberg replied to it. So Joe Rogan said that the format that media has, like they invite a guest, and then there's all kinds of other people watching, right? He said, according to Joe Rogan, that's the worst way to get someone to talk, because they have a fucking audience watching them, right? While in his studio, a person can just take their shoes off, relax, and just shoot the shit, right? And then Zuckerberg replied to that. He said, yeah, because like a lot of times when you're having a conversation, it takes you about 5 minutes to get to your point. That's how natural conversation really is. Like when you're chopping it up with someone, that shit is not scripted, organized, all of that. It's not. It's natural. And then it takes you time to arrive at a thought, right? Tying this back to the lives on TikTok, the reason people pay to watch the lives, I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it so, think about it this way. A live to me, it's like being in the studio or being backstage, right? Picture this. You're in the studio or backstage working. And then the door to the studio or backstage is open. So any random ass person from the street can just come in because the door is open. So you have a shitload of people coming in and out of the studio and in and out of backstage all day. And not only they're just coming in, they're making noise, they're shouting, they're doing all kinds of shit. And that doesn't make any sense, man. Have you ever went to a studio or went backstage without a pass? Doesn't make sense, right? So that's how I look at the lives, man. People need a backstage pass to watch the creative process. And the money is a filter. It's the bouncer at the door. If people pay, it means they care. And there's nothing more sincere or genuine from another person than them to give you money. And I know to many people that sounds very shallow, but it's the truth. If a person is willing to pay you, that means they care, they really care about what you're doing. And so when people pay to see the lives, I know that when they come in, they're not gonna disturb my creative process. Matter of fact, they're gonna add to it. And you've seen it in a video that stayed on top of the channel for months. I invited one of the paying subscribers as a guest on my live. And when I invited them in, they literally gave me the greatest insight about my personal life in 2024. This is from the subscriber. He gave me some insights and advice about my life. He described exactly personal obstacles that I'm facing, which blew my motherfucking mind, man. That's how much this person is in tune with my content. He's not only talking about the content, he talked about shit that I need to work on personally in my life. And he said, I just want to get this message to you. And that was unfucking believable. Literally, the video was called The Best Insight in 2024, for me personally. And his insight is one of the inspirations for where I'm at right now and continuing on the journey from Beach Shack 2 to Beach Shack number 3. He was influential. He was super influential in that. Why? Because he's a paid subscriber. As shallow as that is. But I think I'm gonna tone it down on the yapping.